All right, let's start with the weekly. So very obvious issues on the weekly, right? Everyone and their mom is looking at this. So this is our first area of interest. First area of interest is at just under 26K. This is the area that I'm most interested in. Just know that if it loses this level and retests it, either this is the world's biggest trap of all time and then we go up, or we are fucked. We are so fucked. If we lose this level, I would argue and say that we're probably gonna come back down to at least sub 20K again. This is our level in the sand. So if you were to bid Bitcoin, this is where you should be bidding. If you are to bid a level, it is here, or you're bidding down here, as in you're bidding at like 18K. So pick your poison. Obviously, I'm not looking for the short right here for the same reason that we just talked about, right? Like this is support right here. You're looking for the short up here, like around that 28 area. Daily chart looks like shit. I'm almost certain that you're gonna see under 26 soon. Oh dude, this is so ugly. All these wicks too tell you all you need to know about the current market environment. And all these like large candles up, large candles down. This is not what a trending environment looks like. This is not what an uptrend, high volume, infinite buy pressure, up only, sell side liquidity, buy side liquidity, whatever. It doesn't look like that at all. It looks fucking terrible. It actually just looks like there's a general disinterest in the markets because the books are so fucking thin that you can do this on Bitcoin on top of a slow and steady downtrend. Yeah, watch the reaction at 26K. If there's no bounce at 26K on the daily level, you're going down to under 25. So this would be your levels to bid on the daily. What we just talked about was on the weekly, right? So on the daily, you're looking for this wick to be taken, or maybe this low right here, right? So that's around 24.8 down to about 24.5. That's where I bid on the daily. You can start to build your position around 26, but I would get a majority of my bids in around 24.8, 24.5, just because that's the better area to do business. But 26 isn't awful. It's not the best. And in this current market environment, you want better setups, right? You don't want the A minus B plus setup. You want the A plus setup. Ethereum looks like dog shit. Ethereum is already the equivalent of BTC at 26K, right? It's already at the range lows. Pretty insane. I don't think ETH looks very good. I mean, you can obviously tell with the ETH BTC chart. And I know we threw this magnet on a while ago and we said, hey, look, it's probably gonna come down here. And I remember somebody asked, hey man, is it possible it's gonna go down to like 3.5? And I was like, no, I really don't think so. Well, if what I'm hearing behind the scenes is true about Ethereum, and there are a couple players that need to unload their positions to reposition later on, I think Ethereum is going to be a really good buy in about 6 months. Yeah, so in about 6 months, I think ETH would be a good buy. And this is more time-based because I don't think you can do TA when there's a group of people that need to sell. I don't think FTX, Three Arrows, a lot of these other funds that need to close out some positions really care if they sell 1540 or if they sell 1580 or if they sell 1480, 1450, whatever. Let's chart AVAX though. So if I'm not mistaken, Stars Arena is relaunching or is already launched by the time I'm up, but they should have, announced that they're about to relaunch. So as soon as people start to flock back, and it might take a couple days, mainly because they got hacked. And a lot of people probably aren't excited to just go back into the arena as soon as the dust settles. So you're probably gonna have a little bit of hesitancy, something like this, right? And I'm using AVAX as a proxy for Stars Arena because they don't really have a project on TradingView. But as the confidence picks back up, which is probably like a week because crypto people forget very easily, you should start to see this pick up. As Stars Arena starts to burn more AVAX, as people start to see the bull case in AVAX, I do think we'll get at least a retest of this 1050 area or so, 1050, maybe 11 if we're really picking up on the hype, but that's our thing, right? So we're buying at daily support backed by a fundamental, and so far, so good. I'm about 1% in the green, which isn't a lot, but AVAX isn't a big mover anyway, and it's nice that we're finding support at an area where, we need to hold. Yeah, AVAX doesn't look terrible. I do like the downward momentum is starting to go sideways right here. Just off the chart, I feel like the relaunch should happen any day now because momentum's starting to go sideways, right? And remember, reversals, like a V reversal is nice, don't get me wrong, but the best reversals are something like this. These are the best reversals, and maybe on a high time frame, it'll look like this. But on these lower time frames, like you want to see this structure kind of form. So this structure right here is just evident of less sell pressure or more buying pressure, right? Wouldn't you say that the hype died down with this? No, I wouldn't say that the hype died down. They died, but the hype definitely didn't die down. Are you still looking for a sweep on AVAX? You know, the PA where you buy capitulation? I don't think it's gonna sweep this area anymore, just because look, Stars Arena was so bad. This would have been a great area for the Stars Arena to take it to. It unfortunately never got there. I had bids down to 850 and I only got filled average 903. So like right around here. So not too bad. To me, looks like a higher low for me. So Loom, this is starting to look like distribution at the highs right here. And the reason I say this is because I do think that after a 40% pump after all of this and funding starting to kind of move down, this does look like where people are building a short position out. This is where I would build a short position. I don't know what the funding is on this, but yeah, this doesn't look the best. If you're in Loom, you should take some profit. Could it scam and do the same thing that it did here? Yeah, but I do think it will at least come down here to like this 24 area. But these coins, I wouldn't build a short in a sense where you're riding it all the way down anymore, just because they seem to be pretty steady. And I do think maybe the better play is to let it come down here and get long, or let it come down here, wherever your preference is, and get long, just because funding is always against you and who knows how long they could keep it up here, right? I remember Cyber just hovered at the top for quite a while with minus 2% every 4 hours and it was insane. So again, you don't really want to short these things. Maybe just let it come down and get long. Go left curve, right? Left curve it. Don't overthink this. Mid IQ is trying to short this mostly. I think BNB is probably going to continue to go down, especially because when Sam steps up to start talking about his side, there's Binance implications in there. We might get a more in-depth view of what actually happened, right? Where if you can remember, there was a point where CZ said, I think we need to sell our FTT positions, like the things that I'm hearing in the background, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember they set out a deal to save FTX, but then prices dropped below the deal. So they obviously canned it. But yeah, Sam was insistent on the fact that CZ knew, he leaked their balance sheets, and he started the momentum of the whole FTX down spiral. So we'll see what happens, but I would be very shocked if Binance wasn't the next up after FTX court hearings, right? Just because they're implied so much, they're talked about so much in the case. I would be shocked if the government doesn't pursue some type of fine or some type of investigation into what happened. And it's very profitable to do so. This chart doesn't look that great either. You know how there's that meme that's like, lose this level and it's lights out? Truthfully, lose this level and it is lights out. And it is already starting to lose this level. BNB used to be a very good proxy for altcoin health. Before there was Solana, Ethereum and BNB were two coins that symbolized shitcoin health. If BNB nukes, I would anticipate the entire market to have one of those red days that we haven't had in a while, where you see 30% down on alts across the board, regardless of quality, regardless of the hype, whatever. Like, they're probably going to take at minimum of 15-20%. Yeah, so be very careful with that. We are teetering on the edge. I have been very risk off in the last 2-3 weeks or so, just because there's something about the market that doesn't feel right to me. There's something really off about the current market. Like, the liquidity is weird. I don't have the tools and I probably don't have the knowledge to understand fully what's going on, but something's off. I can't put my finger on it though. Dude, it would be so funny if everything nukes and BIGTIME goes up. It actually doesn't look that bad. I guess we have formed a new range, right? So at these lows, preferably a little bit lower, but 23, 23.2, 23.4, 23.5 or so would be good areas to bid. Mind you, I'm on the 15-minute chart because there's no fucking chart data for this, okay? Maybe 23.5 would be a good bid. And then you probably just keep riding it. You maybe take some profit right here, but I think you just keep riding it in the hopes that this new kind of hyped coin has some legs, right? And then obviously if it closes below this area, get the fuck out, because it could very easily just go all the way down.